We have to start the session soon. Kindly be seated at the earliest. Dear students, kindly be seated at the earliest. Students are in the background. പെട്ടെന്നായിക്കോട്ടെ. സീറ്റിൽ നിന്ന് കുടിച്ചോ, കുഴപ്പമില്ല, ഞങ്ങൾ വന്ന് കളക്ട് ചെയ്തോളാം. കുടിച്ചോ, അവിടെ നിന്ന് കുടിച്ചോ, സീറ്റിൽ നിന്ന് കുടിച്ചോളാൻ പറയാം. നിങ്ങൾ സീറ്റിൽ ഇരുന്നോളൂ, എന്ന് നമ്മൾ കളക്ട് ചെയ്തോളാം കേട്ടോ. വാഷ്റൂം വെളിയിലാണ്. ടീ എടുത്തോണ്ട് അവിടെ ഇരുന്നോളൂ. വോളണ്ടിയേഴ്സ് ആണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു, അവരോടും ബാക്കിലോട്ടങ്ങ് പോയിരുന്നോളാം പറഞ്ഞു. മക്കളെ, നിങ്ങളിവിടെ കൂട്ടം കൂടി നിൽക്കണം, നിങ്ങൾ ബാക്കിലോട്ട് പോയിരുന്നോളൂ കേട്ടോ. സെഷൻ തുടങ്ങാൻ വേണ്ടിയാണ്. എടുത്തോണ്ടങ്ങ് അവിടെ പോയിരുന്നോളൂ ബാക്കിലോട്ട്. നിങ്ങൾ കാര്യം ചെയ്ത് കഴിയുന്നുണ്ട് അവരുടെ നിന്ന് ആ കപ്സ് ഒന്ന് കളക്ട് ചെയ്ത് ഇവിടെ ഒന്ന് കൊണ്ടിട്ടാണ്.
ആദ്യം ഞങ്ങളെ സെൽഫ് ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് വെച്ചാരോ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. ഇത് നിങ്ങൾ തന്നെ പറയോ, ഞാനും ഉണ്ണിയാണെന്നുള്ളത്. ഇവിടുത്തെ മൃദുല
ഡോക്ടർ ഉണ്ണി ആണ് നമ്മുടെ ഈ സെഷന്റെ കുസാറ്റിൽ നിന്നുള്ള മോഡറേറ്റേഴ്സ്. അത് ഒരു വാക്ക് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ വരുന്നുള്ളൂ. ഡോക്ടർ മൃദുല ആൻഡ് ഡോക്ടർ ഉണ്ണി, faculty moderators from CUSAT for the event.
Kindly be seated. Please be seated. A warm welcome to all bubbly, beautiful and handsome budding engineers, electronics engineers to the most crucial event of this PSS Professional Student Summit. Okay, today we are having two eminent speakers for you. I would like to welcome Dr. Suresh Nair, Global Chief Technology Officer, NES Group, for the speech. I have to give a small introduction about him. Dr. Suresh Nair, an alumnus of the Department of Electrical Engineering, IIT Bombay, has spent his initial career at Tata Institute of Fundamental Research and then at Samir, an autonomous R&D lab under the Department of Ministry of Information Technology, Government of India. Later, he shifted to NEST, a multinational private industry, as the Global Chief Technology Officer. He has designed and developed many novel products in healthcare, communication, and defense. And many of these products are finding excellent market acceptance globally. Dr. Suresh has founded two successful companies, Design Alpha and Biophoton Technologies. He has been published more than 125 times, has over 200 technical reports and 18 patents to his credit. And he has also co-authored 3 notable books. He has been conferred with many awards, including the prestigious DST Lockheed Martin Award for the top innovation as ranked #1 in India. He was invited to Silicon Valley, where his idea was identified as the one with great commercial potential. He is the chairman of many Government of India committees on R&D and member in various government steering committees. He is a member of various university boards and academic councils, fellow IET, fellow OSI, senior member IEEE. He has been honored with IEEE top position in India and IEEE India Council Chair elect 2019. He is the immediate past chair of IEEE Kerala section and the vice chair of conferences. Dr. Suresh is an adjunct professor, member doctoral committee, Rajagiri School of Engineering and Technology. Dr. Suresh is also the advisor of Maker Village, Kochi, and active promoter of Academic Industry Association, and his passion is to mentor youngsters as entrepreneurs. Over to you, sir. Another eminent speaker, Dr. Aravind Ajoy. Welcome, sir. He is an assistant professor, Department of Electrical Engineering, IIT Palakkad. Dr. Aravind is an assistant professor at IIT Palakkad. He has obtained his BTech and PhD from IIT Madras, followed by postdoctoral positions at Purdue University, the University of Notre Dame, and Cornell University in the USA. His research interests are in the experimental, theoretical, and computational aspects of nanoelectronics. He is also very passionate about promoting a maker culture among school and college students and enjoys interacting with students. Welcome, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. First of all, thanks to the organizers for inviting us here. So I have my colleague. So presently this idea is not to listen to any talk, basically interactions, because you have come to ask a few questions. You can ask us, okay? If we know, we will answer. Otherwise, we'll give you a cup of tea later, okay? So that is the whole purpose. So we have planned like 40 minutes. Still, we will give sort of what are the activities we do or some of the interesting aspects, especially emphasizing on innovation in the initial slides, okay? So please listen, and you can ask any number of questions after that one. Even in between, no problem, okay? And so 40 plus maybe 20 minutes, we will have interaction, because we have to give a lot of importance to interaction, because you want to ask us rather than we are asking you. That is one. And second one is after lunch, have a lighter lunch, and then come back, and then another 40 minutes for again a talk. by Dr. Arvind, and followed by another 20 minutes for discussion. So you have to really clear all your doubts through this interactive session, okay? It's very difficult to hold like this, but anyway, let us try. So let us start. The first thing is, like, I am not a professor or lecturer, so don't expect such a good talk from my side. I am from an industry only. Because the lecture is defined as a process in which the info is transmitted or transferred from the textbook of the professor to the notebook of the student without the knowledge of either of them. That's what is normally happening. You know, it's an automatic process. Now I think even with the mobile transfer, tablet transfer and all, it has become very easy. You need not even attend class. I think you just get download the file and that is enough. So my question here is, why do you want to be an electronics engineer? There can be many answers. I'm not asking the answer now. Probably later we can ask. The first reason is because my parents told me to study this one. So that is the normal one. And our electronics professors are saying, like, the students in electronics domain, discipline is coming down also. They are also worried about their job. So why it is happening? We need to understand this is such an exciting discipline. And you can do many things. Why people are not interested? So I just wanted to really bring into a few ideas what is happening and also what we can do as a electronics engineer. This is what, when you read any newspaper, if at all you read newspaper, it comes like this. Okay, all standstill pictures. You have to really make out what is happening there. You have to really go through. But now what is going to happen in this video, you might have already seen. Okay, can you just play that video? So now what is going to be is, like, it is when you read the newspaper, it is not like just can you run that if it works? Yeah. It's not like that. Like, when you read the newspaper, instead of still pictures, you can really see what is happening. For example, the budget. So instead of, just seeing a few pictures, you can see. Now, I meet any one of you. I may not be knowing about you, but as soon as you come near to me, I get all your details. Where you are, what are the supplies you have till now, how much grade you got for DSP. So all those details I will get instead of you telling me. Okay? That is not enough. Now I'm going to the airport, for example. So I'm going to the airport. I have the boarding pass printed. I just look at the boarding pass. I will get all the details, like the flight is delayed for 20 minutes, and also, the gate is changed to somewhere else. Now I want to know the time. I have to just make a gesture of a watch. That itself enough. I get the complete, all the details. Even though all these things look very magical, but all these things are now realistic. What is happening? You wear a device which will understand what gesture you are making. Okay, you want to know what is the time. Okay, you make a gesture of a watch. The device understands. It can always get the info from cloud or whatever, internet immediately. The device displays is back to the same place. So that's how it is. It's very simple when you look at the electronics point of view. Okay, but this is what is happening. So these are some of the advancement what is happening. Now I read somewhere, I think by 5 years from now, you can even remotely feel things. For example, you want to buy a dress. Now what you do is you see all fabulous colors on internet. Okay, you decide that, okay, this saree I will buy. Okay, now you can't really have the feel of that one, right? You have to imagine. When it comes back, oh my God, this was not the thing which I have ordered. Okay, so that type of thing will happen. Now that is not going to come. From here itself, you can feel. I think this technique can be used for many things, but for good things also it can be used. Next comes the other one. In 5 years, computer will hear what matters. What it means is, like, I will give a small example. Like a new infant. When a new infant is born, it cries. Many times it cries, and only mother knows why it is crying. I think that also over a few months or few days, mother will artificially intelligence works and they find out why it is crying. Okay, that's how it happens like that. It may be crying for a feed. It may be crying it is wet or not well, whatever it is. Now with maternity leave, paternity leave is also there. The fathers, new fathers, the young fathers, they get away from all those paternity leave. They enjoy. because they will tell like, I don't understand why the baby is crying. Now the technique or technology has come. As soon as the infant cries, we can make out why it is crying. Whether it is feed, whether it requires, it is not well, and whatever it is, okay? These type of technologies can be used even for remotely, finding out any sort of earthquake and things like that. So a lot of these things are coming up, okay? These are all mainly from electronics technology. Now, we had an interesting topic by the director of TAFR on fundamental research. What are the things happening there? So that is where a lot of money has been put, and if you ask what is the output, these are all mainly international publications. First time in the world. He was talking about every time. Five examples he talked about. These are all first time in the world. So that science and theory is developed there, but as government is putting a lot of money, the output should go to the next stage is applied research. Whatever theory you have developed, it has to come to applied research. That means the theory can be used, okay, usable. There are many government labs like CSIR labs and all, where the theory is taken and they really do some sort of an engineering. That is where the engineers come in. Okay, he was talking about the first one where a lot of science is happening. Okay, the second one is the thing. What is the output? Normally it will be patents and copyrights. For software it is copyright, and for products and all it is patents. We should never stop there. The next step is where I come from, where we come up with products which can be usable. For example, the theory may be on MRI, techniques and things like that. But the next one may be a proof of concept. You show that it works. But what I do from industry is an MRI machine, so that it can be used by you or anyone. Okay, so that is the difference. And what is the output? Here comes the real service to the society. Whatever money put in by the government in the fundamental research, it has to come through the whole cycle, then only the real service to the society comes. But for industry people, real service itself is not enough. Some more thing is there. You can see a little lot of money also, we can get it. Okay, so this is the whole cycle. I just want to make you understand, because you are all youngsters. Now, what society expects from you? I think in Chief Minister's talk also, everywhere he was mentioning that whatever we do, it should benefit society. So this has to be kept in mind. So I think this I have already talked about, but whatever the government labs are doing, it should go to research. There are research funds, and it is going to the academic institute, publication, patents, and you can, the academics can stop their research even as a technology transfer. Whatever technology is developed can be transferred to the industry. But what industry does is, like from corporate management, the industry does is they do the commercialization. So new products and processes coming out, whatever return on investment again goes back to the corporate management, again as a tax to government. Okay, so this is the total circle. This we need to understand why we are doing all these things. Okay. As explained, as introduced, on me, I was with government research initially for 13 years. At that time, I was worshipping Saraswati. So that was my god at that time. Then I shifted to commercial, where, I now started worshipping Lakshmi, because that is for the industry and the money. Okay. But you can see all women, I am still supporting women empowerment. Yeah, this is very important. I think somebody mentioned this also. Whenever you think globally, okay? Because you are all young people, you can think globally. Don't ever think like I will come up with a product or Indian product, which will be used only in India. You can see a product designed or made in India, there will be a lot of screws outside. As soon as you look at that one, you will make out that it is designed here, okay? So don't ever think, the youth should always think globally. You have to sell it globally. Why? Because a lot of products can come from countries like China to India. There is no restriction on that one. So you have to always compete with them. Okay, that is very important. You have to compete with them. Of course, government is adding some tax, import tax and all, but still you have to. So you don't have any reservation for this one, unless leaving the make in India and things like that. But still, you have to always think globally. So, coming to in Kerala, that is also very important. You know, normally we see this one. Kerala, when somebody talks about Kerala, Vallangaliyundu, pinne endona Thrissur Puram, Chinese net and whatnot, all houseboat. That is what other people know about Kerala. Nobody knows Kerala for technology, really. Okay, even though it is there, but you know, people really look at that one. And also, we have some more festival. We enjoy this one with chicken and you know all those boozing. Happy Hartal, the fate of Kerala. So everybody looks Kerala like this. Okay, so we are somewhere here today under the coconut tree. So we have to really bring out our intellectual expertise to the world. How can you do that? We have to really come up with products. We have to tell the world that it is working already. Info Park, Techno Park, all are known. And many companies are now coming up, as Chief Minister was talking about. It is happening, but you have to change or bring in one more dimension, like Kerala is also for technology. So that's what I want to emphasize. The employability, if you see, your primary job now is studying and academics. That's what, you know, even though people talk about other activities like IEEE, IET, and so many organizing conferences and all, but this is your primary responsibility, and this is the time. Graduation is the time where you can understand basics. After that, nobody is going to talk about that. So it is very, very important. I have lot many examples to tell, but I think there is no time here. So other activities which will improve your CV are professional development, of course, physical activity, then arts, social issues, you have to get into special English communication or foreign classes and all. So after seeing, you know, you should not tell like, you have to really develop all these things, okay? So this is very, very important in addition to the studies, but primary, it is studies. Intellectual satisfaction for an electronics engineer, there are many ways to do that. I think probably my colleague will be explaining that. You know, after MTech, BTech what? You can get into entrepreneurship, everybody wants now. I will talk about that. Remaining, I think most of them, my colleague will do that. You can do jobs, hardware, software. Again, you can go for MS if you want, then PhD, whatever you want. You can get into academics, industry. So all these things are available. But today, most of the thing I will be talking about the entrepreneurship. Okay, that is where I am coming from. I think my colleague will vouch for academics and all. So as I said, socially beneficial technologies and products, no need of the hour. Now let us start on innovation. This is a process of translating an idea or invention into a product or service. Okay, that is what is innovation. But I have given a little bit more dimension to that one. That creates value or for which customers will pay. It is not like I am very good in this area, nanoscience. I will come up with a lot of ideas of my own where there is no direct implication now. That is not an innovation. Innovation is like there should be someone to use that one. Okay, for example, socially beneficial things. This is very, very important. Okay, I will show some examples of innovation. The one is the diet spoon. It's very good, like 80% will drop whatever you take, so that you eat only 20%. Okay, so that as days go by. Another interesting is this one. This I have in my bag also. Whenever you fall down and you come back to school and all, you have to tell everyone what happened. No, you have to tell that bike accident, this, that. Lot of energy has been spent on that one. Can we come up with an energy saving idea of printing that there itself? The first one is dog bite, and prevalent in Kerala. Second one, step down, you know, fell down. Third one in sports. Fourth one is family problem. I just put that one. So I cannot explicitly tell that. So you put some ambiguous thing. So that is what, this is one innovation which you can do that. Okay, I have in my bag, anybody who wants. Now, we need to do, whenever you have an idea, that's what I think most of you will be having because you are all selected from colleges and all. The first thing to do, look at is originality. Is this idea original from you? I can see, I have been interacting with so many startup companies and all our youngsters. If you go on asking them, they will tell that, oh, no, I read this somewhere in IEEE paper. I want to make it in India, which will make it very, very beneficial, this, that, and all. these are not really original idea. Original idea doesn't mean that you have to invent something. You need to understand what is there as of now. You can add some features and make it more efficient. That is also an innovation. Okay, so these things you have to really understand. I think those who have attended my talk might have seen this many times. This is one story which I always used to tell about originality. So that, when you look at this story, you will remember what is original. There was a cap seller long time back, maybe 80 years back. He was selling caps. At that time, no door delivery, Amazon and all. So he has to carry the caps in the basket, go around and sell it. So he was doing that. He was also wearing a cap. So after some time, when he sat under a tree and he was so tired, he slept. When he woke up, all the caps in his basket were missing. Then he looked around. He saw a lot of monkeys wearing the cap. Because monkeys have a habit of mimicking human beings. Like he was wearing the cap, the monkeys also wanted to mimic. Now I think we have a habit of mimicking monkeys when I look at the low-waist jeans and all. Okay, that's what I see. So let us come to the story. So he looked around, the monkeys were wearing the cap. What he did was he took out his cap, all the monkeys took out their cap, he put it down, all the monkeys put the cap down, he collected and went. Now his grandson is in business, now the new generation. He is also doing same type of selling caps, okay? But this time it is not this type of cap. I think these type of caps are used only in Delhi. Otherwise, this new generation boy is doing caps which you see in FTV, okay? I'm sure you have seen FTV. These caps you can see. So same situation happened. He went to a hotel for a meeting. He kept all his caps in a car. He went for a meeting. When he came back, all the caps were missing. Then he remembered his grandfather told this one. Okay? What you do is you look around. He looked around. Same situation. Lot of monkeys there wearing the cap. Oh, he thought I got the answer now. He took out his cap. All the monkeys took out their cap. He put it down. No monkey put the cap down. So till that process, everything was working. The final stage, it is not working. Okay. So he called his grandfather. Grandfather, this is not working. He told you all young people arrogant, do it politely. It will work. Slowly you do. He did everything. Everything worked up to this. When he puts it down, no monkey put the cap down. Finally, I have to close the story. A leader monkey came and told that we also have grandfathers. Okay. So the idea here is takeaway is don't ever think what has happened earlier will happen again. Okay, so you have to always think original ideas. Original ideas, that's what. So the next one, self-check, you have to do yourself. See, one more thing I want to emphasize to the young students. Whatever idea you have, you are the master, you have read a lot. You can go in front of the committee and fool them around also. Tell that it is my idea. No problem, because the people who are sitting are like me only. So we have not read everything, okay? So we'll tell that, okay, this is a very good idea, let us give funding, okay? But please remember you are playing with your own career, your own life, okay? So please be very frank, understand what is your original contribution, then only you go. So for that, there is a self-check, prior art status. You have an idea. First thing what you have to do is, what has been done till now on this product? Whether anybody has done in the world, and what they have done. That you have to first understand. Then only you can tell what above that you can do. Second one is patentability. Patentability, I made around 18-20 patents and stopped it. Because patentability for you, youngsters, it is very important. But there are a lot of stories behind patenting also. Okay, that I will tell later. The third one is market analysis. You need to know where you are going to sell. Lot of startup come and tell that I will sell this to US Defense. Or, NASA, or something like that. It's not going to work initially, okay? So you have to be very careful on that development cost and time. I am going to develop a product which will require $100 million now, and it will take 5 years. Nobody is going to look at you. It is not, to start with, I am telling you only to start with. You have to be very, very realistic, okay? And repeatability is a very, very important thing. In a lab, in the electronics lab, we make amplifier and all, right? You have to show it to the lecturer or instructor. Whatever assembled by you, only you can show it to the teacher. If you leave that breadboard to your friend, it will not work. Because that is made in that way only. Your hands or a touch is required to make it work. So, but in the real case, you as an engineer do the design, but the manufacturing is done by ITI person. He doesn't think whether frequency equal to 2 pi, all those things, he doesn't remember. Whatever you have told to assemble in electronics, he will just assemble as said and should work. Okay? I think electronics engineer, you know that lot many rings are there on the resistor, like 220k ohms. The last ring is for tolerance. I don't think anybody is looking at that one, because whether it is 5% or 10% or 20%, let it work. Okay? But that is not the case. When you are coming up with a commercial product, you have to see one resistor is 5%, other one may be 10%, capacitor may be another 20% plus or minus. You have to make sure that the design is taken care so that whatever you specify, when you put the component, it should work. The amplifier should not oscillate. Okay, normally it happens like that. Okay, whenever you make oscillator to amplifier will oscillate. So all those things are happening only because of these simple things only. So you have to be very careful on that one when you do the design. Okay. Then manufacturability and sustainability. Sustainability will come little later because you have some idea. You can't live with one idea, one product. You have to have a series of ideas in your mind. After this, I will come up like this. After that, I will do this. So all those ideas you need to have. You can sort of have, help of some of the real mentors who will help you on that. Sometimes it happens like I have a brilliant idea. I don't want to put into developing into a product, or I have a software idea. I want to sell this idea and get some money. That's all. I don't want to really convert into a commercial product. I don't want to form a company and things like that. That are also possible, provided you really make an effort with the help of a negotiator, because you don't know how much your technology costs. Is it 100 rupees, 100 crores, 10 lakhs? We don't know. So you have to take help of some people who can assess your technology, what is the applicability and the marketability and all, then you can find out that one. This is also possible. These are the stages in development from idea to the final product. Idea is by innovator like you, okay? The next immediate step is proof of concept. Whatever idea you have has to be proven to others, and others have to get convinced that this idea works. It is not like I am saying this will work. You have to come up with a proof of concept. Proof of concept can be done using, for electronics engineers, using the available equipment in the lab. Like for example, laptop. You can use MATLAB, LabVIEW, oscilloscope, power supply, spectrum analyzer, whatever you want you can use. You can use, for example, you are coming up with a small device, but in the proof of concept, you can use a tabletop full. And you demonstrate your idea. You prove that your idea works. That is the proof of concept. And that is normally done in incubation center. You all have incubation center. Why it is required? Why incubation center is required? You can do it at home, right? You can take a small shop outside and do. But why incubation center is required? Government feels that whatever idea you have, you should focus only on the idea rather than focusing on electricity bill payment, pollution control certificate, internet bill payment, all those things. You don't spend your time on that. You spend your time, focus only on an idea. The incubation center will support you in every way. They will provide electricity, they will take care of taxes, they will provide the internet, whatever you want, even mentorship. Okay? That is the whole idea of having incubation center. You are expected to focus only on the idea. Okay? Then for proof of concept, design and manufacturing, you need money, investor. You are all young people, you can get dowry and also do all these things. If I think that is also abolished now, that is not possible. What happened? Yeah. So dowry also, I think we can't have a wealthy, father-in-law, mother-in-law and all. That is all gone. So you have to get some help of the investors for that one, because a lot of money is required there. Investors are in large numbers. You can get government funding as grant. That means you need not give it back. Angel investor, you may have to give some equity. Okay, you have to share your thing. Don't bother about that one. Your company is worth zero. Okay, worth now zero. You give some equities, 5%, 10%, don't bother about that, okay? When you become rich, at that time also you will not repent because you were supported in the initial stage to all these things. It's very important. Yeah, these are the step-by-step process. I am not getting into each one of them, but this gives, if you follow this, you can start a company if you have an idea. The first one is idea is finalized after discussion with friends, trustworthy people, very important. You never discuss with anyone else. I think trustworthy finally ends up in who? Father, mother, not even brother, sister, I think. I don't know, I have a doubt. So that is what is done. Then first thing you have to do is file a provisional patent. Whatever idea you have, it can be rubbish idea now. But you file a provisional patent is very, very easy. Just write down what is your idea, you can file it. You can take the help of your IP cell. Government of Kerala is supporting. So that is what. Then for 1 year, you have the right on that idea. Okay, even if somebody comes up with similar idea, within that 1 year, you still have the authority or the ownership of that idea. Only 1 year. Before that you have to come. Then what you do is you can register a company because many government and organizations are asking for company details and or for some of the, you can start a company, it's not very difficult. Occupy in incubation center, then all those things. Demonstrate proof of concept, then you can see the last one, file patent. You have to file within 1 year, okay? So you have 1 year to do that. Then I have written there, I don't know whether you can see, no publications till then. Whenever we get an idea, we are over enthusiastic and then publish it, come in the media, telling like this is my idea and all. Once it comes in a media, it is public domain. The info is public domain. You cannot file a patent. So you can, of course, talk about the whole product and all, but the real idea, you should never reveal the technology because you have to file a patent. This is very, very important. Then you go through all these things. Concept to product, these are the things like, for youngsters, since you are not knowing the various process involved in taking a concept to a product, I want to explain. Then you will realize where are you, even if you have an idea. The first thing is a concept. The concept has to get on to proof of concept. That means you have to show it to others. Others should also tell that it is working. The next one is design. I told you proof of concept, a tabletop full of equipment you can use, but when it comes to the design, it has to be as close as to the final product. So it can be electronic design, photonics and all those things. Then you make the proto build. The first one, proto, it can be alpha, then if it doesn't work, beta. If that doesn't work, you close that. I think that is the only thing. There is no gamma and all. Alpha, beta, proto. This proto is used by you only to do all experiment. Don't give this proto to outside because you have to do a lot of testing and understand whether whatever intended function is working. Then comes the pilot build. You correct all these things and do a pilot build, maybe 100 numbers, 50 numbers. This pilot you can give to your customer, potential customers. Don't get any money from them. You can tell them, you use it and then tell me, give me a feedback. Then comes the compliance testing, very important. These are all steps. Compliance testing is like in a society when we are living. Myself and my wife is having some shouting or some trouble there. I shout. It should not affect the neighbors. Okay, that is the societal rule, right? Similarly, in this case also, whatever product you make, for example, electrical product when we make in the lab, when you switch on your circuit, the whole power goes sometimes. Many times it happens. Even in your circuit it happens. Like so that should not happen. You have to make sure that you are not disturbing anyone else, any other devices. What it means is like you have to comply to some standards. How much radiation can come from a mobile phone, how much distance and all those things you can do that. Then comes the reliability testing. One more thing is like the compliance testing. One more idea is like even if our neighbors are shouting, you should not bother. Actually, we have a habit of just looking at what is happening and we enjoy that one if some shouting is going on there, neighbor's house. That is called compliance. Okay, that what it means is like even if some of the devices near to you doesn't work, malfunctions, your device should still work. That is how it has to be built. Okay, for example, earlier days, in our days, when TV, we are viewing TV and mother puts on the mixer, you can't see the TV. A lot of lines will come. But now all those things are gone. New technology have come. And lightning means, I think as soon as lightning comes, we have to order one TV, one fridge, and this thing. In earlier days. Now it is not like that. These are all taken care. Technology is there. That we need to do. And reliability testing. You are coming up with a product today, you have to give a guarantee that it will work for 10 years. How can you tell? You have come up with the product only today, you have not used it for 10 years. Okay? There are some scientific ways to do that. You take your whatever device you made, put in a pressure cooker for 2 hours, burn it. 80. Pressure cooker means 80 degrees Celsius, 85% RH, relative humidity. Burn it for 2 hours. Take the device out and keep it on. You see whether it works. If it works, from this data, I just told an example as pressure cooker. There are some scientific means to do that. From this data, you can estimate what can be the life of your product. Okay? It is not like ജോൾസിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് കൊണ്ടുപോയിട്ട് ഇത് ഒരു 10 വർഷം നടക്കുമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് കാര്യമില്ല. You have to have your own scientific ways to prove that. That's how it is being done. Then comes the final product. I am just showing one example which we did some time back. You can see the proof of concept is a big one on tabletop. Then I moved to proto. You can see it is almost final one. Then I moved to pilot build and all compliance testing. This was tested in 64 countries. We spent around 3 crores on that one. Then comes the final product, which can be a usable product. This is, of course, a very innovative, a barcode scanner. I am not getting into all those details now. The very important for youngsters. If an egg is broken by outside force, life ends. That means you make omelette or bullseye. Okay? But it has to be broken from inside. That means you don't wait for your professors and mentors to tell what you have to do. All the ideas, everything has to come from you only. Nobody else is going to help you. Okay? So this is very important. Don't always rely on all these people. Okay? So you have to do yourself. So now new areas of interest, what is going on, I think industry 4.0. 4.0 you may be knowing. Industry 1.0 is where mechanized things came. Okay? Machines came. Industry 2.0 is when the mechanical things were electrified. Electrical machines came. Industry 2.0. Industry 3.0 is what is happening now, where we use computers to manage, to control and all. Okay? Now, everybody is now started working on Industry 4.0, 4.0. What it means is like it is not only just using computer, you have to have some sort of a predictive thing. For example, I am using an electronic circuit. If I am able to, which is costing maybe, let us put 10 lakhs. I can buy one spare and keep it 10 lakhs. That is not a very good option. So what people can do is like you go on taking the data of the current working product. From this, can you predict that after 6 months my product will fail? At that time you can buy a spare. So this is one example I am just telling. Okay, all predictive analytics. So that is what is happening. So IoT, I think my friend you will be covering a little bit. Okay, then I will. It is not just sending text or anything like that. Or people will tell like, okay, in fridge whether milk is there or not. It's not only that, it's a small thing. But now everything is connected with, high power, then sensors, all the data being collected, analyzed and things like that. That is what is being done. Many companies are working. I'm just skipping. So this is a connected ecosystem like smart care, smart industry, smart cities. Now everybody talks about smart. Everything is smart. Okay. So what can we do on this is we have come up with an IoT platform. It's a sort of a platform where you can connect any number of sensors. It can take data. It can analyze, do some analysis, preliminary analysis, and it can even upload to the cloud for further analysis. So we have come up with one platform here. I'm not talking about that. But there are many ways of doing this, like assisted guidance for transit passengers. I think that will come later. Smart traffic management and parking, where to do parking and all. Then scheduled garbage collection, monitoring and metering by unit. Any startup company, now everybody comes up with some idea on this garbage collection and things like that. I am not going to listen to that one. You have to come up with something new. These are all old now. Okay? So whatever ideas you have to come up with something new. This is for smart care. For example, today Chief Minister was talking about always take care of your parents, right? That's what he told. I don't know whether you listened or not. But it is very difficult. If you are very bright, you will go abroad. You will settle down there. I think many people are there. My son is also in US. So who will take care of us? We have to take care of ourselves through technology. So you can wear some wearables so that when I become old, if I fall down, immediately we can give alert to other people. So many things you can do. Everything can be controlled by using the IoT, sensor, data analysis, all those things, artificial intelligence. That is what is happening there. So not to blame that, not to tell that you have to be always in India or Kerala here, okay, to take care of your parents. Assisted living, that is what I was talking about. You can have various type of things, emergency alert, medicine scheduling, utilities billing. These are all now become old for me. I think you can also think of those things. And smart buildings also connecting to an eco-green, intelligent future. All those things are everything you can do. Okay, so sensors, and you connect it through wireless. So many protocols are there. You can use that, and you can come up with these type of things. I'm just skipping. We have also come up with a few sensors, not our sensor. Some of them are there, which I think I have not. The pendant and all those things are our own sensor, which we have developed for that one. Converting to sometimes it happens like this example I want to tell you. Sometimes market may not be there. That is also possible. Okay, market may not be there. It is like antivirus. You create virus and then come up with an antivirus thing. Okay, that to take care of that. Those type of things also work in business. Okay, one example I will just give instead of going lot. Any standard book on fiber optics, because I have also done my post-graduation optical technology. There you can see that they say like, this is the most safest data when you send it through optical fiber compared to normal copper cable. Earlier days, in our hostel days and our graduation days, one telephone line used to go, so we used to parallelly connect and listen. It is possible. It was our hobby at that time. Okay, nowadays it is against the ethics. So that is possible. If you have a wireless network, if you have a very broadband receiver, you can still receive whatever is happening. Even though there will be a lot of encryption and things like that, I am just leaving that. Optical, you can't touch that one, nothing happens. Okay, that was there in the textbook. Then in between we read somewhere that no, in defense, in some area, these type of, the tapping is going on even on fiber. So I'm not getting in all these details. So we get on to that one. We understood how it is happening. Okay, we are not tappered. So what happens is like a client requests any this thing, file, a copy goes to intruder. I can make it. And you will never know that it is happening because I am taking a very, very, very little amount of light or power from this one, which will not change any bit error rate. Same bit error rate will happen. So that is what is done. So then it was not there in the market. So we thought that if we come up with a system which can immediately identify any such intrusion in an optical network, this can be sold. We did that, and we got a business of 600 crores for that idea, just for that idea, 600 crores. It is now laid throughout the country. I cannot tell where it is. You will go and find out. It is throughout the country. If anybody touches defense network, optical network, immediately in Delhi, they will know where it is with the 20-meter resolution, what is going on, and we can do lot many things. For example, I can still keep you tapped, but the data will be junk. I will purposely make so that you will remain. If I cut out my data, then you will think like, oh, it is gone, I will get into another network, okay? All those tricks we will play. So this is what I'm telling. If I listen to my MTech professor saying like data is safe, secure on optical fiber, I should not have made this, the business worth of 800 crores there. Oh, okay, that is what I'm talking about. So you can see that only innovative thinking has to be fostered into a commercial product development. It's a very simple idea. That's what we have done. Other socially beneficial product I will touch upon. I think morning people were talking about the cancer one. Cancer is, the cure for cancer is what? Early detection. That is the only cure. okay? And you can, normally we don't go to any doctor unless I have grade 4 or 3 or 4, okay? And normally we don't go. Why we are not going? Because there is no way where to go. Where to go? Should I go to a primary health center? The doctor will not understand. She or he will send me to the regional cancer center. After seeing that board, I will die there itself. 50% of my life will go. It is a bit scary there. And also I have been to regional cancer center many times. When you go there, you see the agony there. At that time, I will decide that my whatever salary I get, some percentage is to be given for these type of activities, okay? But when I reach Tambanur, I forget that one. After 10 kilometers, while coming back, I am again still, I'm not giving any charity and all. So that is the type of, mindset we have. So this is the idea, how to do early detection, simple way. So I will just take you through. So we did that one. We understood there are some ways to do that. Using some spectrum and all, we have come up with a device, the small probe what you see, if you shine light in the oral cavity, that is mouth, immediately on the screen you can get whether the tissues are healthy, precancerous or cancerous. Okay. After that I changed the color and all because only doctor needs to know. My device is not yet completed. Like I cannot tell that you have cancer now. So all those things we did, and this is how it Android based thing. And the difficult part is to do patient trials. I take this device, that's what I want to tell you. You are all electronics engineers. For patient trials, you have to go to an hospital. First, you have to convince the doctor that this device will not harm patient as of now. When I shine light, whatever little cancer should not become aggravated. I have to convince the doctor. My wife is an ENT surgeon, okay? Everything, anyway, I am unable to convince anything. But even on this, I am finding difficult to convince. So this is very, very difficult. But with some scientific data, you will be able to convince that one. So this is also possible on that. So yeah, this one I want to show, like the picture you can see. I was talking about oral cancer, but the media put it on the paper saying like I have devised a device. You just stand, it will find out any cancer anywhere. That's how I think they have come up with the media reporting. Okay, so don't believe on that one. These are all Malayalathi paranja thalla nu parayum. Okay, a little bit more about me and what all awards I got. So now I am very sure most of you wanted to do this. I am also seeing some of you are sleeping. Maybe you have come in the early morning. Okay, but the problem in the social problem is like you wish me or anyone else around you not to know that you are sleeping. It is not good to know. I have a product in my bag. I think very useful. You can buy from me that we call it as a sleep safe sticker. That means you close your eyes, put the sticker on the eyelid. It will look like this one. So nobody, even your professor there, IIT, you will not be able to make out that you are sleeping. Very powerful tool. It is there in my bag. I think anybody for the next session, I will be able to support you on a cost. A few more technology, let me excite you. So many of things can be done by an electronics engineer. Okay, it is not me, but a bunch of people. Okay, whenever I am talking about me, I and all, you refer it like it is my team. For water, you can put a label on the water bottle saying like this is manufactured here, these are the things content. How can you tag the liquid itself? Is it possible? I don't know what is there inside, right? So there are ways to do that. This is not for water, for other things like, for example, currency printing ink. You want to make it like it is very, the genuine one. Okay, so all those things, we worked with a Turkish government lab or academic institute who has come up with some nanoparticle which can be put into this one. And the property of the added particle, it has got some special signature. So you can always detect that one. So whenever the water is there, like you can put the probe inside the liquid, immediately I can tell whether it's a genuine one or not. So that is the type of work which is going on. This will be used in many ways. So you can see the electronics design done by the people, electronics engineers. You can see how compact it is made. If you make a breadboard and all, you can see how difficult it is to. I will stop with a few slides because more interaction. Why I am showing all these things is to show you what all you can do. The idea, all these things can be done here. This is a fiber blanket for jaundice therapy. For new infant, I think most of the infants will have jaundice. Okay. So what doctor does is like they will take the infant to the NICU and put the color, the blue color. Okay. You can see how the infant is lying, all eyes blindfolded. Okay. I think it is not good. Okay. So, and also the infant newborn is taken away from the new mother. That is another problem. Then what we thought is like, can we come up with some sort of a blanket which can be used like this? You just cover the baby with this blanket itself. Don't shine from top. Okay, the same effect happens. And this is now being used in many places. What are the advantage? The new infant can be always with the mother. It is very, very important. It is not like only for feeding the infant is brought from NICU. Always it is there. These are all being sold. Another one is vein viewer. There is a video I am not just showing. It's like for some people, for me it is okay. The vein is outside almost. For some of the fat, some of the people who are not well, like, terminally ill, very difficult. The nurse sister will come and prick some maybe 10 times to get the thing. And it is very difficult. So we have come up with an idea. I will also explain the principle. We shine some rays which will be absorbed by the blood, good blood. And we take a photograph of that one. Then we process it, remove hair and all. Then put it back, display it back on the same place. That's how it happens, okay? But when you show, it will look like your vein is seen outside. So this can be used for many, many, many applications. So I think I always used to show this one, 3 apples that changed the whole world. First one is Adam and Eve in Athens. Second one is Isaac Newton. Thank God only 3 laws. And Steve Jobs. Okay, again, everything changed. All the mobile thing. Now everybody copies that one only. Okay, that's what. Then after seeing this, sometimes when motivation is not there, we look at all these pictures. Then I thought like, my God, if I have to also get something like this, I have to have some apple tree in my home, somewhere there, like, because apple has to fall or something related to apple. But unfortunately, we are in Kerala. So only, the coconuts are there. Okay, unfortunately. So this, I finally realized that this will not work for me. If you just stand below a coconut tree, I will die. Okay, no innovation will come, no invention will come. So for you guys, it is nothing to do with apple. You have to really work hard. It has to come from your inner space. Okay, so with that, I think, a few more things. These are the dirtiness. I think toilet seat is very clean. Doorknob is okay. Toilet handle is very good. Your cell phone, you are all using now. Look at the cell phone contaminated with bacteria and all. And also what we do, we use everywhere now. Okay. Earlier in hostel, we are given, one person is given only 5 minutes in the toilet. You have to come out. Otherwise, banging and all, and you have to come out. Now with mobile phone, I think almost 30 minutes goes on this one, because you are doing most of the time doing. Now, whatever we do, we give these to infants also, the babies also. For example, recently I was traveling in a flight, and my neighbor was one mother and an infant. The infant was crying. And what the mother did was like, she took her mobile phone, she did something and slapped on like this. The child slept. I don't know, maybe some song or something like that, I don't know, but the child slept. No disturbance at all. So these type of things are there. So it is all fully contaminated with bacteria. Now what can we do? What can we do? Very simple one. Using some UV light and all, you can generate UV light which can sanitize the bacteria. Very simple thing which has been happening. Now we are coming up with a product where when you charge the mobile phone, automatically the light will become on for 5 minutes, it will sanitize. Okay, so that is what it does. And the thing is like, these lights are not good for eyes. That's why whenever you close only, the lights will become on and you can sanitize. So that is very good. You can also carry. I talked about oral cancer for ladies. I think those who are here, you have to tell your mom, your aunt, everyone, those who are above 45 years of age have to go through mammogram once in a year at least. Once in a year at least. Okay, you are all young people. So what is done is same type of thing. We were thinking whether we can do early detection of breast cancer. Breast cancer is one of the most prevalent one among ladies. How can you do that, early detection? Mammogram is there, it is painful, little bit painful. So we joined, I think there was a government lab, CMET. We came up with a device. Now it's a prototype. You just wear it. Wear for 15 minutes now. You will get an imaging and also get all the details about whether there is any precancerous cells there. So this is being tested at Malabar Cancer Center, Kannur. I think today Chief Minister was talking about that also center. So where they are saying like as per the current results, it is not completed. As per the current results, this is better than mammogram. Whatever they could not see in mammogram, they are seeing here. And now they are following it up with those patients. You come back again and let us test it. So that is what is going on. So these are all, you can see whatever science and technology you did, what for? You made some money, okay, you have to have a living, but finally it has to get converted to the social thing. So I think some of the products I am working with Massachusetts also, testing. Yeah, this one I have to talk about that. 2 young girls from Pune, they came to me actually for mentorship. So they wanted to come up with a wearable device for deaf and dumb. For example, a doorbell rings. The deaf and dumb should know that doorbell rings. So they want a watch which will give a vibration as well as a display saying like doorbell rings. It can be applied for many, many things. If you are his or her friend, your sound can be even recognized. Many things you can think of. What can you do? Okay. So this is one of the device which we developed, and just now it is undergoing trials with the best trial which we did was like we gave these watches to maybe around 5 or 6 deaf and dumb people, and they were dancing to the common tune. So we were able to even manage that one. Same tune, and they were able to dance to that one. I think with that, many things are going on, like pollution control. Somebody has come up with a pollution control device. I'm working with them also. Water content measurement, solar panel cleaning system. These are all, why I'm showing you, these are already done. Okay, if you have anything in mind in this one, you can discuss with me later, but you have to think something new. These are all done. Battery pool, electric vehicle charger. The down one, what I am showing is a milk adultery detection from IIT Madras. So you just put a drop of milk, it can give bacteria content, fat content, and whatnot. All those things you can do immediately. So that is what is going on. The top one is a reader for blind. You just keep a paper, it will take the image and convert into text, and it can read. Okay, so all those things are coming up with, I think, so this is my last slide. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. This is very important. You have taken BTech electronics engineer, it is not because your dad told. You have to create passion. That's why I think you are all being selected here. You have to create passion for that one, whatever you do. Okay, so that is what, develop passion for everything you do. And all these exciting and socially beneficial activities, what I have shown, can be done only by an electronics engineer. Okay, my first slide was why you have to be an electronics engineer. It's not like my mom, dad told, this is because of this. You can do plenty of things, all socially beneficial. You can make money, no problem. Okay, with that I think I should close, otherwise my colleague will send me out. Thank you. Give me an applause. So the floor is open for discussion. Any question, please? Yeah, you are asking question or you are a volunteer? Oh, you are a volunteer. What's your name? You can introduce.
I'm volunteer from CUSAT. My name is Dimple Andrews.
Dimple. Oh, very nice name.
Thank you, sir, for the enlightening words.
Thank you. Okay.
The session is open for interaction.
So as it is said, it is not to listen. These are all our experience, what we have told. But what we want to answer is what you want. You know, you can ask any type of question. You can ask whether you will fund. You can ask whether, what is my son's age. Whatever you want, you can ask. Please. My colleague and we will start asking. Okay. If you are not asking, we will ask you. That is another problem. Yes. Here, yeah. Dimple there.
Myself, Chidambaramurthy from MTech, CUSAT, here itself. So what I need to ask is, we in India we have many industries like software, any kind of Reliance is there because one of the biggest country, Tata Consultancy and all. But we don't have any chip manufacturing company in India, especially in the field of VLSI and microprocessor designing. And it's because of the immense cost involved in it. And SFO, which is part of Nest, is very good in manufacturing processes, services and all. Why can't SFO start a venture like that in future, in Kerala or in India, to have our own process? Because safety is a big thing. And we are, so far, as far as our country is concerned, all devices, everyone in this place, you are using a microprocessor built outside India. And we don't know what's inside that.
Yeah.
So even though we are securing everything outside, still there's a probability that the microprocessor built can leak data from us.
Yeah.
So why can't we build that?
Sure, sure. Very good question. This is one of the vital point. I just want to emphasize on that one. Whatever chip you buy are all from outside, from Singapore, US, China, all those places. That is the place where the ICs are made are called foundries. Foundries. I think we have an expert in this one. There is one foundry in India, there is a semiconductor lab in Chandigarh that is mainly used for defense applications. They are making, but it is not up to the thing. The problem is like, in Hyderabad, Government of India, I was in the committee also, they tried to fund so that the technology can come. It is huge funding and the technology drastically changes. So whatever nanometer, the capability you have now, it can be used only for 2 or. So you need to have that much of business if you want to really come up with, because huge multi-billion billion-dollar type of thing it is required there. That is why it is not a good thing. So, but we, NS Group, we started a foundry in Sweden. Okay, we went there because it is already there. And it was on optical things. I think he may be the expert, semiconductor. But to be very frank, we closed it down because we were bleeding. Because we can't make business out of that unless you have that type of technology transition and also that type of business. See, why the chips are costing only $10 or $5? Because the volume is 100 million and billions type of thing. So one person is making the volume of business is which brings the cost down. Otherwise, if you make a microcontroller, it will be so expensive, even though a few were there already, and which are mainly used for defense. Now, still the Chandigarh facility is being used for that. Once it was got fully demolished on fire, then again now rebuilt, and it is used only for the defense application. This is a very expensive affair in terms of, but government is now looking for, Prime Minister has already talked about all these things. Yeah, but it is all these risk is there. Business risks are very high. You want to add anything?
I'll touch upon it when I speak. But as Dr. Nair was saying, the lab in Chandigarh now is actually an ISRO lab. So they have some strategic requirements. And when moment you have a strategic requirement, you're not that bothered whether you're working with the latest technology or not. So you compromise on a slower processor, but you maintain your strategic needs. However, if you're going to make a commodity product with that slow processor, you have to compete in the market, and at that time nobody is going to care whether it's made in India or made in China or made elsewhere. You will want, the market wants the fastest and the cheapest, and you will never win that game. And as he rightly said, then you can't stay in the market. In fact, globally, now there are only 2 or 3 manufacturers. Even IBM, the god of semiconductor manufacturing, has come out of manufacture of chips. In fact, they handed over their foundries to another company called Global Foundries. They didn't sell it. They gave the foundry and said, take this money also. That was how that transaction happened.
So that is called fabulous now. You need not have a foundry of your own. Yes, next. Yeah. You can come here. Let others see you. It's an opportunity for you. Yes.
Hi, sir. Sir, I'm Kaivalya from Hira College. So Hira College. So you were talking about that fiber blanket for newborn babies, and in that machine, that rays travel from a long distance. So considering the blanket, it's more close to the body of the child. So won't it cause any?
No, it's not more distance. I think the device is kept. With the blanket you can do. With a normal cloth blanket, it will pass through that one. So no problem in that one. No. The device source is somewhere kept nearby. Through a bundle of fiber, which is maybe 1 meter, only that much, then it is spread out. So all the lights will come out like a blanket. That's how it works. Thank you. This side. Let us go this side. Everybody is hiding. Yes. So if you are not asking, I will ask you. Anyone? I think this girl. Ask some question, yeah? This will happen like that. Ask anything.
Lunchtime. When is the lunchtime? Lunchtime.
You can introduce yourself.
My name is Lija John. I'm from Gujarat.
Gujarat, okay. How come you are in CUSAT?
No, I'm studying in MGUC, Mahatma Gandhi University College of Engineering. Lija John.
You can ask in Gujarati.
So, but you know Gujarati?
Yes. You don't want to ask anything? Let's go.
No, I don't want to ask.
Okay. Hand over. Somewhere you? Some girls. My God, I believe in women empowerment. I showed you my gods are all women. Thank you. Anyone? No girls here. Yes. There is one girl here.
Hi, sir. I'm Saina from CET. Okay. Sir, I just want to ask you about the current society, all right? And Kerala. Okay, I want to emphasize on Kerala because this is something we are, talking about Kerala in society in special. So the thing is, sir, we had Keltron, right? Keltron produced a lot of very great things before. My dad used to tell me. But then now Keltron doesn't really produce anything really good, okay? And it cannot really compete in the world market. So and normally what really happens is that people who finish engineering soon after that they join some company, and that really doesn't help in empowering Kerala. But if we have to make something, then we have to make place for research, right, sir? So, sir, what can we really do, like, to overcome that particular problem?
Okay, you are saying like one example you have taken Keltron. Okay, so in the first TV, I think in Asiad or sometime, I think you might not have born. Okay, at that time, so it was doing good. I think there are some issues at that time with the workers and the management and all. That's how it gone. For example, the group where I am there, Nest Group, most of them are ex-Keltron, ex-ISRO and all. All those people joined there. It's something to do with management. I don't want to really get into that one. But as you said, there are many ways. Like many hardware companies are now there in Kerala. Like Nissan and all those people are now coming up with. But for electronics engineers, the two things. One is like they want to go for bank PO, so which is not good. It's not good. You are not really good for that. The second one is coding job for software and all. That is where a lot of opportunities are there. But you all being selected from your college, I believe that you should really focus on electronics engineer, real electronics engineer. There are a lot of opportunities which is coming up. There are some issues here. For example, in Kerala, I have not shown that slide. we are all well aware of environmental issues. If we come up with a factory, for example, an electronics factory, immediately people will tell that a lot of pollution you are throwing it out. We are not, we don't have that much of land also. So we have to also understand what type of factories we can have. For example, if FACT was here, that is also almost in the verge of closing. So I think people have realized that intellectual jobs where we don't pollute anything else than our mind. Only no environmental pollution there. So that is why I think the government also is more focusing on those type of technological jobs. That is the whole idea. And I have not talked about even Nest Group when we started. We are not making these mobile phones. We cannot compete. We have to do an analysis. What is our strength? Engineering is our strength. I think you all agree, right? Engineering is our strength. So we will focus on products which require some engineering, which cannot be normally done in China. Okay, because China is our product-wise, they are our competitor, major competitor. Other people are also there, Philippines and all are there. China is interested in volume production. I think I have visited so many facilities. If you go into the facility, they will be just doing, all young girls will be doing some job. Even if you put hand on their shoulder, they will not look at you. They will may mind, but they will not look at you, okay? Because they are doing the job. They are paid for the number of right products made. Right products made. If they make a mistake, they will not be paid. Here it is not like that. We are paid for number of hours we spend, irrespective of how many products are being made, okay? So those efficiency-wise, you cannot really match. So we have to do something like, for example, making an ultrasound machine. We are good, because a lot of engineering is involved in that, okay? We are good, we are doing. We can make MRI machine. If you visit my facility, you can see all those things. MRI machines are there. Then, CT, coils are being made here. Where some engineering is there. For example, RF people, madam is here. RF people, electronics for digital, it is very easy, 1 or 0. If we are not getting 0, or if you are not getting right 1 or 0, it's not working. But RF, it is not like that. Something may come, you have to fine tune and make it work, okay? So all those engineering things, we can focus on that. Don't make these 1 million, 10 million type of thing, we are not good in that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very good. Yes. Come here so that people can see you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Introduce.
Jason. So when I heard
From where?
well, my name is Jason, and I'm from Ernakulam itself in Rajagiri, Kakinad. So when I heard you tell all these things, the first question which came into my mind was, so how did you build your career? How was your college life and everything? What did you do in college?
Oh my God, that's a dangerous thing. I did as you do only. I had love. Same thing what you have. Mainly I want to actually, taking out the lighter side. See, when you understand, you have to really relate to something else. That's what the method which I use. I don't know whether that works for you also. I will just explain an example. Modulation. Modulation means like, earlier days we were doing all those. Digital was at the top. I think you might have read much more. At that time what happens is like, you speak, lot many people speak on phone, all these audio, the electrical signal is then put on some common place. It is sent over. For example, if I am telephoning someone to Madras, it goes there and it again gets decoded and goes to the right person. For example, from hostel, whom do we call normally? Yeah? Parents only, for money, always, ATM. You have to always tell, oh my God, I need this much money. So we call. So I make a call directed to my father. What happens is like my voice, for example, analog, whatever sound waves converted to electrical, this is again analog wave converted to probably at that time digital. So many people are calling. Everything is put. I cannot have one dedicated line to my home, right? So many people call and it gets into the common network backbone, and at the other end it goes and it gets decoded. So at that time when we write letter, I was really comparing with this one, analogy. When you write letter, nowadays nobody writes letter. At that time we had to write letter. So we write letter saying like that, I need 2,000 rupees immediately, very urgent. Okay, that's what the information. That is the information. I put it on the letter, inland letter. That is the. Then I post it in a box at that time. Now I think I don't know whether you know about what is post box. It's put in the post box. Postman comes and collects all those things. He takes it to the post office. He puts everything together. Whatever has to go to Trivandrum from here will be put on the train. All these letters in one bag, gunny bag. There it goes to RMS. They sort it out. Finally, the postman of my region gives to my dad. And he opens it up and he reads the information. Okay? See, this is the information, but lot many carriers were there. That is what is, like the postman was a carrier, subcarrier, the train was a carrier. Nobody opens it up. Nobody knows what is the information put on that. So similarly only we are doing the communication. Okay, like whatever I speak, it is all getting into one place, getting on the backbone. Finally, it gets decoded and goes there. So that is the type of thing at that time I was thinking. If any of the subject you can relate to what you understand, you have to understand the basic. It's not like I equal to whatever the equations are. What is the consequence? What it means? That is what is very important. I think that was the...
So then one more question is there related to communication. So right now another field which is coming up is light fidelity, like transmitting data through light. Using it.
You can see in my lab.
So
Wi-Fi.
It's already there?
Yes.
So what is your opinion on that? Like, is it a marketable field?
It is, I think, some more time it may take because of some issues. Now what we have is like in our lab, if you come, you can hear a song which is transmitted through this light. So you can put we give a earphone, you can listen. That is okay, but when you move out of that room, what happens? So all those things are not there now. I think something will come up, but at least for the room and all, it is okay.
What if we want to make something isolated?
Isolated, it's
For
okay.
example, in some defense area, something like that.
It can be done. But that also can be detected and all. Yeah.
Because, for example, in this home security systems, like, for example, if someone comes from, like, he can access something outside, he can just collect the data, so he can access your entire home, unlock the door.
Right.
So we can do something about security,
Yes.
right?
We can do.
Shall we break now?
Break? No. Oh. No, we can. Okay.
So,
Yeah. You can tell them that you think and come.
So, thank you, Suresh Nair, sir. So, he has planted several seeds in your mind. Please think over it during your lunch break. We now break for lunch and we get back by 2:30. So, lunch is provided at the open air theatre. So, you may please proceed to the venue for lunch. And please, 2:30. Yeah, 2:30. It's already 1:45. Already 1:45. That's too much. So if possible, if you can get back by 2:15, we can start early. Huh? Yeah, okay. 2:30. Thank you. You can always interact now.
The students are requested to fill the attendance sheet after lunch. Thank you.